If you're wondering which budget smartwatches are worth your money, stick around. After we run through each product, I'll give you my personal take. Would I buy it or would I skip it? No fluff, just my honest opinion. Let's get into it. Whoop 4.0. Look, I get it. You want to be a fitness nerd without looking like one. No screen, just a simple band that tracks everything from your sleep to how badly you messed up your body during yesterday's workout. The battery life is fantastic, and the app gives you so much data you'll feel like a scientist, but damn, that $30 monthly subscription feels like paying rent for your wrist. The accuracy is pretty solid unless you're doing upper body workouts, where it tends to think you're having a heart attack while doing bicep curls. Would I buy it? No, I'm not paying a monthly subscription for a screenless band when I can get a full smartwatch for the same money. Garmin Venu Sq. This square buddy is basically what happens when Garmin decides to make a Fitbit killer, and honestly, they nailed it. You get an insane 11-day battery life, accurate GPS tracking, and it doesn't look like you strapped a computer to your wrist. The screen is bright as hell, and unlike some competitors, Apple, you won't need to charge it every damn day. The only downside? The interface might confuse you at first, but hey, that's what manuals are for? Would I buy it? Yes, it's like getting a sports car for the price of a Toyota, minus the weird Garmin learning curve. Fitbit Versa 4. Fitbit tried to make a smartwatch that's not really smart. They removed a bunch of apps and features from the previous version, but at least the battery lasts 6 days. The heart rate tracking is decent, but tends to lag behind Apple and Garmin when you're doing anything more intense than walking to your fridge. The physical button is back though, so you won't have to swipe the screen with your sweaty fingers anymore. Would I buy it? Maybe. If you're coming from an older Fitbit and don't care about fancy features, it's fine, but the Garmin Venu Sq is laughing at this thing. Apple Watch SE, 2nd gen. Apple's budget watch still costs as much as your weekly grocery run, but it's snappy as hell and works like a charm with your iPhone. The battery life is a joke compared to the others. You'll get about 18 hours if you're lucky, but the fitness tracking is actually pretty solid. No fancy health features like ECG or temperature sensing, but it nails the basics and doesn't make you feel like you bought the poor person's Apple Watch. Would I buy it? Yes. If you're already in Apple's ecosystem and don't need the fancy health features of the Series 8, this is a no-brainer. Garmin Vivoactive 5. Listen, for $300, you're getting a pretty sweet deal with this one. It's got an AMOLED display that's actually visible in sunlight and tracks over 30 different sports, including stuff for wheelchair users, which is pretty rad. The battery life is insane at 11 days, but they had to cut some corners. No barometric altimeter means no counting stairs, and the skiing mode won't automatically track your runs anymore. Would I buy it? Yes. The battery life alone makes it worth dealing with its quirks. Samsung Galaxy Watch 5. This bad boy is like the middle child of smartwatches, trying to do everything but not quite nailing it all. The battery life is decent at around 2 days, and it's got this fancy body composition measurement thing that tells you how fat you are, plus it can track your snoring, which is either cool or creepy depending on how you look at it. The GPS accuracy is actually pretty solid, but damn, you better have your phone nearby because this thing needs to be charged every other day. Would I buy it? Maybe if you're cool with charging it as often as your phone and don't mind being called fat by your watch. Fitbit Sense 2. Okay, so Fitbit went all in on stress tracking with this one. It's got sensors that measure your sweat to tell you when you're stressed, which is kind of like having your mom constantly asking if you're okay. The battery life is solid at 6 days, and the physical button is way better than that weird touch strip on the old model, but they stripped out a bunch of smart features like third-party apps. Would I buy it? No, it's basically just an expensive stress meter that occasionally tells time. Fitbit Inspire 3. This little guy is like the Honda Civic of fitness trackers. It's not fancy, but it gets the job done. For under $100, you get a color AMOLED display and impressive 8-day battery life, though the screen is so tiny you might need a magnifying glass to read it. The heart rate tracking can be wonky during workouts, but hey, at least it automatically detects when you're exercising so you don't have to remember to press start. Would I buy it? Yes, it's cheap, reliable, and doesn't try to be something it's not. Google Pixel Watch 2. Look, I get it. Google finally fixed their GPS tracking and heart rate monitoring is now 40% more accurate, which is great for fitness tracking. The battery life is better than most Apple Watches, and it charges super fast, going from 0 to 80% in just 45 minutes. But damn, you'll still need that Fitbit Premium subscription to get the most out of it, and those thick bezels around the screen are still annoying as hell. Would I buy it? Maybe if you're cool with charging daily and don't mind paying extra for Fitbit features. Garmin Forerunner 165. This watch is basically showing off with its bright AMOLED screen an impressive 13-day battery life. The GPS accuracy is fantastic. During a 10-mile bike ride test, it only had a 0.06-mile difference compared to Strava, which is pretty damn impressive for a budget watch. The only real bummer is that it takes forever to connect to GPS. Like, a whole minute of standing around looking stupid before your workout. Would I buy it? Yes, it's probably the best entry-level running watch you can get right now, especially if you're tired of charging your watch every day. Samsung Galaxy Watch. Samsung really tried to pull a fast one here. This is literally just a rebranded Galaxy Watch 4 from 2021 with a fancy new name and sapphire glass. Sure, it's got all the health tracking features you'd want, but that old processor makes the interface slower than my grandma trying to use TikTok. At least they gave it Wear OS 4 out of the box, so there's that. Would I buy it? No. Spend a bit more and get something that wasn't designed when people were still doing TikTok dances in quarantine. Samsung Galaxy Watch 6. The screen on this thing is so bright at 2000 nits that you could probably signal aircraft with it. Seriously, it's visible even through dark sunglasses. The battery life is kind of trash though. It barely lasts a day with the always-on display enabled. But hey, at least it's got that sweet new processor and more RAM, making everything butter smooth. Would I buy it? Maybe. If you're an Android user who needs a watch that can double as a flashlight. Xiaomi Redmi Watch 5 Active. Look, for under 50 bucks, you're getting a smartwatch that actually doesn't suck. It's got a bright LCD display, decent battery life lasting up to 18 days, and tracks 140 plus workout modes, which is pretty damn impressive. The build quality feels surprisingly good with that metallic looking plastic, but damn, those chunky bezels are ugly and the step tracking accuracy is about as reliable as my ex's promises. The Bluetooth calling works well and the battery life is solid, but there's no always on display and the GPS accuracy is questionable at best. Would I buy it? Yes, it's stupid cheap and gets the basics right. Samsung Galaxy Watch 4. This watch is like that overachiever in class who tries to do everything. It's got a crisp AMOLED display, solid fitness tracking, and runs the new Wear OS smoothly. The battery life is shorter than my attention span, barely lasting 2 days, and it thinks I'm working out while taking a shower, which is both hilarious and annoying. It's basically useless if you don't have a Samsung phone, but hey, at least it looks pretty with that sleek design. Would I buy it? Maybe. If you're in Samsung's ecosystem and don't mind charging it every night. Garmin Forerunner 55. This thing is like the Nokia 3310 of smartwatches. It's not pretty with its basic display, but hot damn does it get the job done with up to 2 weeks of battery life and incredibly accurate GPS tracking. The interface feels like it's from the 90s with those buttons instead of a touch screen, but the running features and fitness tracking are more accurate than a helicopter parent. It's basically indestructible, but looks about as stylish as my dad's cargo shorts. Would I buy it? Yes, if you care more about fitness tracking than looking cool. OnePlus Watch 2R. This bad boy is like the middle child trying to please everyone. It's got both Wear OS and RTOS for better battery management, lasting over 3 days with the always-on display and the dual-band GPS actually works. The heart rate tracking is surprisingly accurate, but it's bigger than my future plans, and if you've got small wrists, good freaking luck. The performance is snappy, and it's actually faster than the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, which is pretty impressive for the price. Would I buy it? Yes, it's the sweet spot between features and battery life. Amazfit Bip 5. Look, for under $100, you're getting a smartwatch that can track 124 different workouts, make phone calls through Bluetooth, and has a massive 1.91-inch display that makes reading notifications a breeze. The battery life is pretty solid at 10 days depending on usage, though it's not as impressive as previous Bip models. And yeah, they went cheap with a TFT screen instead of AMOLED, but at this price point, who's complaining? The build quality feels a bit plasticky and Alexa only works in certain regions, but damn, the fitness tracking is surprisingly accurate for what you're paying. Would I buy it? Yes, it's basically a budget smartwatch that punches way above its weight class. Amazfit GTR 3 Pro. This thing is like the Bip 5's fancy older sibling that went to private school. It's got a gorgeous AMOLED display, aluminum body, and actually looks like something you'd want to wear to a nice dinner. The health tracking is solid with the BioTracker 3.0 sensor, though sometimes it gets a bit confused and thinks you're dead when you're just chilling. Okay, the SpO2 readings can be inconsistent. Battery life is impressive at 12 days depending on usage, and it's got built-in GPS that actually works, plus you can store music on it, though who the hell actually transfers music to their watch anymore? Would I buy it? Maybe. It's a great watch if you want something that looks premium without selling a kidney, but there are some annoying software bugs that'll make you want to throw it across the room sometimes. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you pick the budget smartwatches for you. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. Links to all of these products mentioned in this video will be in the description.